1. Alright, we are live. This is the FGC at UCLA podcast. Real quick before we start rolling, let's just do a comms test. Could someone jump over to the website? I'm going to jump over, but let's just see if we can hear everyone. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, we're looking for FGC at UCLA. We can edit everything in post so we sound like we know what we're doing.
True, very true.
Okay. I am tuning in. I'm waiting for audio. So far, I'm not getting any. Could someone else talk?
Hello?
Testing.
How's it
1,
going?
2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Hadouken.
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 Oh, you can.
Alpha Blade.
Alright, we're
No.
not capturing any audio.
Yes, Alpha Blade.
That's bad. So it's a good thing we checked it. Audio output capture. Okay. Audio output capture is added now. Could you please talk again?
Hello. Testing. Is the mic working?
Yo. Sure, you can.
You know, that video, like the Spanish guy saying Hadouken, Shoryuken is so funny to me.
Hadouken.
Tatsumaki Seppuku.
For some reason I'm not getting any audio still. Let me try playing a video or something. Could be... had some difficulty before with Discord.
Hey, sorry to barge in. The audio's fine on YouTube, but faint compared to the others.
What's
Oh.
up compared to the others? Karushi, what'd you say? Come back, Karushi.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm here. I needed to fix
Oh.
my own audio.
Oh, okay. You can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you guys on YouTube.
Oh my god. Okay.
But,
Then-
I think yours is quite faint compared to the others.
okay. I can try boosting myself a little bit, but anyway, I'm just a ringmaster. Let's give myself some dBs.
Yeah, okay. Have fun then.
Thank you, Karushi. Okay.
I see. Hello.
Hello.
Yo, welcome. No, I go to grad school at Pacific University. We do not have a fighting game scene.
Oh no.
Okay.
Shut it down, Tom.
Okay. I guess we start from the top again.
Well,
I guess.
Okay. Welcome, Avian Zebra from Tacoma.
Hello.
Welcome, Herbs from the FGC at UT Southwestern.
Hello,
Sorry,
Austin.
Austin.
Hello.
Welcome, Prince Waka, Retro Rage, and Storm Claymore from University of the Pacific.
No, it's Pacific University. Don't
Oh
confuse
my
the
God.
two schools.
It's all good.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm trying my best to hold it together here. Okay. So today we're going to just do a little fun hypothetical, which is basically you're moving to Mars, right? And because of the way it works, like everything has to be pre-cleared. You know, you're not going to be able to download anything because the bandwidth to Mars is 256K for everyone. And so it's going to work out this way. Basically, you can pick 3 fighting games. One is going to be a fighting game you can play in your little tube, your little sleep tube, right? So this is something that really it's just going to be you playing, but you can play it every day because you get to go to your sleep tube every day. Lucky you. One of them is going to be on the nice computer in the libraries, but those you can only use like 2 days a week, right? You can play them on the weekends. And then once a month, there's like 2 days when you can play once a month in the cafeteria on like the big monitor that's in there. And that's the third fighting game you can play. So when choosing your games, you should think about like, okay, one, you're going to be playing mostly online or like net play with anyone who just happens to be, you know, also net playing that game. One will be one you could have a few friends and kind of quietly play. And then one will be like the, you know, yelling in the cafeteria. All right, so let's go ahead and start us off with the people we have here, and I'll kind of interrupt you and read some of the other answers I've gotten by text. But let's start off with Avian Zebra. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Lay it on us. What's number one?
Yeah, those few categories you laid out make it pretty easy for me. So the first one, the one in the tube, I'd have as Blaze Blue Central Fiction.
Oh, that's a good
Let's go.
That's such a good choice. I already have it called up as my first image.
Yeah, Blaze Blue. First of all, it's well, if I'm in like my sleep tube, I can't imagine I have a very good rig. So Blaze Blue Central
Oh,
Fiction
good
works
thinking.
on a lot of stuff. Net play, it has rollback, so I don't need to worry about that. And considering I'm on Mars and there's not much else, I wanted a game that has a lot of depth to it, and I really like Blaze Blue Central Fiction for that.
Kind of an amazing choice. Kind of an amazing choice. So that's your tube game. That's
Yeah,
your
I'm a tube game.
What's
And then my computer lab game,
Uh-huh.
that would be Under Night in Birth.
Ooh. Not that dissimilar of a game.
No, but I love Under Night. And it's a game that's very close to me because it's one of the games that I started playing fighting games with, and it doesn't have rollback yet. And considering if I move to Mars before Under Night 2 comes out, I'll be stuck with Uniclear. So I get to have some offline at the computer lab with Under Night. You know, perfect for French bread.
Do you really think Under Night will have rollback by the time you leave for Mars?
If I don't leave for Mars before January, even I could have Under Night 2, and then I'd still bring that.
That's true. So this is a bit of like a comfort food thing, right? Like you're on the red planet. There's no oxygen. You're kind of waiting for someone to like accidentally open a door and everyone dies. And you're like, I want to play the game I like.
Yeah, that would be it.
Okay, that's fair. That's a well-beloved game by many in the Chord. So yeah, I can't see that one going. But you're 2 animes for 2 now.
Yeah,
So
that's That's kind of just what the kind of player I am, and so what is it? The third one,
Yeah.
the big screen.
It's time to reveal your weeb self to the entire colony.
Now this might be a little bit. I think I don't know. This one might be a bit controversial, but I'd say the third one would be Strive.
Whoa! I did not call up that image.
Honestly, I was thinking possibly Strive, but I like your reason.
I was having the same ideas, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, I mean, you kind of have to explain yourself, I think.
Yeah. Well, so at first I was considering Street Fighter 6, but I think the current version sucks.
Oh no.
So.
You don't like JP?
I don't like JP. I don't like Drive Rush. So I think Strive's current version, it's far from perfect. I hate all the top tiers with passion.
Uh-huh.
But it's an easy game, to get into. The last two games I mentioned, like Central Fiction, Uniclear, they can be pretty intensive,
That's
so
no one's gonna like pick up Central Fiction and be like, oh yeah, this is fun, let's play next month.
yeah.
They're just gonna get
So
you're like, well, check out this AK combo I learned.
Yeah, so Strive. I've been having a lot of fun with it lately, and so I feel like if I had to deal with this version for a while, I wouldn't really mind.
I'm gonna guess, because you're saying this, that you switched off Testament.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Testament's it's bad spot right now.
Oof. Okay. Rip Testy. Okay, so we're going pure Animu for that one.
Mm-hmm. That's just who I am.
Hey, you like what you like, and you don't get many choices here, so there's no reason to like grit and bear MK or something like that if you don't want to. Okay, so before we move on to the next person, let me read one from, this is Norse. This is a FGC at UCLA player who, well, first she wrote uni 3 times.
I approve of that.
But then she came back and she said, for the tube game, MBAACC, so Melty Blood actress again. Apparently there's a crazy amount of things to lab in that game. I can agree with that. There's a lot of niche stuff. It definitely fits in this crowd. She said, and she's going to be the only one to say this, DNF Duel for the computer lab game.
Ooh.
She said it's wild and different. And she's like one of the top players in it, so that makes sense. And then Uni is number 3, so that's the one where she wants to style on people in the cafeteria. And then for the bonus flex, she said she would probably not bring anything and just try to make her own fighting game if she's really marooned like that. So, but that doesn't count, so we'll disregard
Gotcha.
that. All right, Herbs, let's move on to you next, huh?
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna work my way backwards. So I had the hardest time thinking of what to play on my lonesome in my little tube.
Uh-huh.
So like to play with everyone, like it really does feel like Strive is like one of my picks, but I was also debating between Street Fighter 6 as Zebra was,
Uh-huh.
since I haven't really played a ton of different fighting games. So, and Strive is easily one of my favorites. It's the fighting game I started on, and I have all of that. So I was like, do I play that on weeklies with my close group of friends, or do I just like bring that to the cafeteria once a month?
Where'd you come down?
So I came down to having Strive as the once a month
Okay.
in the big cafeteria, since I was listening to everyone's y'all talking, and I was just like, oh, Strive can just be picked up pretty easily. Just people just start to learn the game. It's very flashy, and it's very easy to be flashy. So it just really comes down to really cool moments and such. Since I always am excited watching it, even though I didn't even know what I was doing at first, which is hilarious.
It is very flashy.
Yeah.
That's definitely, and it's also maybe the one, like, if you only play once a month and like everyone like learns one thing, it might be the one game where that works.
Yeah, I did not think about that, but that makes a lot of sense. For like the twice a week in like the computer lab area, I was thinking like either I'm not even going to debate anymore. I was just going to go with King of Fighters.
KOF. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good choice. Would you pick a particular one?
I have only played 15, so I'm going to say that one.
Good one.
So, it just feels like it's one of those games where it's not overly complex. It's not overly simple. It'll work. It's fun. Everyone can do what they want to, and that's my opinion on it. And then for my little tube,
a little lab time though, right? Like it's not something.
It does need a little bit of lab time, but like I don't know. But so does Uni, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, Uni. So some of these people saying Uni on the last one. That's only if you want to show up and kill people. Like,
yeah.
You're already good.
Yeah, I know. So
I think.
But playing King of Fighters at a simple level is just. I feel like just throwing around moves, doing little bread and butters isn't that difficult. And lastly, for the little tube, I would probably say Actress again, which is weird. It's weird coming from me since
I'm a little surprised.
I don't exactly enjoy the game right now, but that's also because I don't have hours upon hours into it, and I know I would like it if I did.
So it's the kind of situation where it's the kind of thing where you'd want to put some time in to like it.
Yeah, like since I've only put like 2-3 hours into like labbing and just like 3 or 4 hours just playing against people because it's just not up. I just don't have time just to put in the effort and just catch up to people. But having the time in the tube just to play it by myself or just lab out some cool shenanigans seems super fun.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I think it is definitely like a lab game for sure. It seems people that enjoy it are always like, look at this cool combo.
Yeah, that's what I've seen from people, and everyone's said good things about it. So, and no one's really turned me down the wrong path except for the person who said they liked MK, and I'm just like, why?
Okay, well, on that note, let me read Rig Jace's entry here. So, Rig Jace is the SDSU FGC head, and he said number 1, MKX. And why is this his tube game? Well, it has a ton of characters, lots of variations, tons of combo optimization, lots of matchup knowledge. So he thinks it's the best, definitely a hipster pick, hardcore hipster pick, but he thinks it's the best modern MK, even after MK1 dropped. And then we have number 2, he added BBCF. We've heard some BBCF a few times already, but he says he wouldn't make this his main lab game because he only likes one character. So this is just, he actually wants to get the matchup knowledge or something like that. And then number 3, Tekken 7, which I actually thought would come up more already. A little surprised not to hear much Tekken, but Rig Jace would say 3 is his Tekken game. He says it's fun, but playing it only once a month is probably better for my health. So take that as you will. What do you think about all this NBA CC, guys? Is that the greatest game of our generation?
I don't have a lot of Melty Blood experience, I'm going to be honest.
Oh.
No.
Sadly, don't have much Melty experience either.
You have a flat no? Well, some people would make it their tube game. That's intimate. That is intimate.
Yeah.
So maybe something worth trying out.
Yeah, I feel.
Yeah, Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to Prince Waka here. Prince Waka, give us your Mars games.
Yo, okie dokie.
What will
You
keep
see,
you warm on the
I
cold
just
surface?
okay. This is my thing. I just assumed that the tube game there would be no internet access, so it would just be me against the CPU and the game's content.
Well, it's gonna be colonists, right? So the chance of it you actually getting good net play, or like who knows? It's like you can't bet on it really.
True. I just assumed the Mars netplay, the colony netplay, it would be horrible. So I actually chose a game that did not even have internet, connection at all, Soul Calibur free, and that's because it has a wide variety of single player content. You can do character creation. You can do Chronicle of the Swords, which is basically like a strategy game mixed in with a fighting game. Lots of unlockables, lots of characters, all that kind of stuff. So I'd be content playing that game for months and months and months just by myself.
That's a pretty deep reach there, and I think that's something people haven't really discussed yet. Is like, is there like a good single player fighting game that could keep you entertained forever?
Yeah, I was actually surprised that no one mentioned that quite yet. I actually wasn't thinking about labbing because it's funny, whenever I lab, I want to lab so I'm able to fight against someone else and then show my cool moves, my cool setups, all that kind of stuff against someone. But if it's like just a tube game, it would just be for my own enjoyment and amusement, and I don't think I can do that.
Here's what Herbs is hoping to do. He's going to force someone to go into his tube with him. They'll lay shoulder to shoulder, staring up at the screen.
True.
And then he'll take the crap out of them and melt your blood and be like, see?
True, that's an option. True.
Sounds a bit romantic.
Yeah, right?
Oh no. True, very
Actually,
true.
now I think about it a bit more. I forgot about a game.
Oh, really?
But go on, continue.
Okay, we'll come
Continue
back
with
to
yours.
Herbs. Please continue.
Oh yeah, we'll come back to him. Alright. But yeah, that would be my two games, hands down, Soul Calibur free. And then for my library game, that would actually be BBCF as well. And that game I would need to play with other people, and I don't personally mind playing it only 2 times a week because I really don't need to lab that game at the moment. I'm confident enough in the game I don't really need to lab. So, yeah, I would just be able to play it, just pick up and play 2 times a week. Be a bit social. Of course, it can't be loud because it's a library, but I can get my, socialized gaming fixing with that. And for the once a month, like a weekend, in the cafeteria, so 2 times a month on the weekend.
The next game, yeah.
I honestly, that one's really hard because most of the games I can think of, I would want to play more than 2 times a month. And if it's going to be like only 2 times a month, I can't really lab, can't really prepare myself. It would have to be a game I personally don't care about, and a game I kind of see as a party game. I can be as loud as I want. I can be as stupid as I want. So I was going to pick up.
You're going to need the release because you spend most of your time shoveling human shit to make potatoes. Probably 80 hours a week. So you're going to need the release.
Exactly, yeah. So that's what I was planning on, going all out and being silly, choose a platform fighter, but apparently that's forbidden. That's
you
forbidden.
could say which one you would choose as a joke, and then you could tell us the real one.
Okay, as a joke, it'll probably be like Project M, which is a modded brawl, or Rails Wafer, but a real answer would actually be Strive, believe it or not, Guilty Gear Strive.
Oh, well,
And
I
that's,
believe it because I've heard it before.
Yep. And that game, it helps I'm already familiar with it, so I don't really need to lab too much in that game, like for me to play at like a decent level. But that game is just so goofy, silly, flashy, in my opinion. It's harder for me to take it too seriously, and that would be a good stress reliever game for 2 times a month in a more social environment. So that's why I would choose Strive.
I'm impressed with how well Strive is doing here.
It's not getting the most warm words though.
It's like,
Don't get me wrong, I actually really
No,
like.
I love it. I love Strive.
Don't get me wrong. I actually do really like Strive, and I actually defend Strive. But at the same time, I'm a critic of Strive. It's weird.
I don't know. It's completely understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wouldn't sit on Strive for every day, every night, just alone. Just feels awful sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a perfect situation when no one gets good at the top tiers. Just once a month, they pop in.
True. Very true.
That'd be so nice.
Make pop viable. Let's fucking go.
You know what? Chip. I could just knowledge check people with Chip twice a month. Yeah, I could just do that.
One week
That's the
a month.
big gameplay.
I'd hate to admit this, but like I've been playing like Strive in my first fighting game and playing for like what almost a year now. I just learned how Chip's Alpha Blade works like yesterday.
Oh no.
I did not realize it was a cross up, and I'm like, why am I not blocking this? So that's also how much I play against Chip.
Oh dang.
That is
I
one
think-
thing about certain games. Like if you don't have the net play, then like you're not really going to go that deep. So maybe a point against BVCF is you won't figure out how things interact. You'll just be in combo simulator.
That's considering if they Nova combos before you go to Mars.
True. I know the combos, thankfully, so I'm set.
Yeah.
Okay, you can climb shoulder to shoulder in with someone. Avian, did you say BBCF 2? Was that your second game?
I said this for my first game.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're gonna have to go shoulder to shoulder.
Surely I can get the 7 frames rollback of someone from the colony.
Okay.
Nice.
Just put tinfoil on the antenna. It extends the range.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, that's how BBCF was meant to be played. That's how it was first played, prior to rollback. Herbs, you wanted to change your first game, maybe to a game.
I
you
forgot
like.
about Xrd.
Ooh,
I don't know how I forgot.
you're going.
I like Xrd.
You're doubling up on
It's nice.
Guilty.
Yeah. Since I feel like going shoulder to shoulder playing someone in Xrd is just like it's not like overly complicated to like just play, but at the same time I feel like for my gaming knowledge it's just like it would be fun just to keep labbing that game since like there's a lot of characters I like, a lot of characters I've seen previously, and there's just like what 20 characters, 25 characters.
So
I forgot.
But you're going to be stuck
Enough.
at this thing, maybe for the rest of your life.
I don't care.
What if you learn you hate YRC like 3 months in?
Wait a minute, that's true.
I-
Sorry, continue.
I've been stuck with RC and Guilty Gear Strive. I'm fine.
YRC is a whole different beast.
I know.
But you'll be by
Yeah.
yourself, so maybe it's not so bad.
No,
But true, that's... Oh yeah, continue, sorry.
I can just lab Jacko shit. Just be like, how crazy can I make Jacko? Let's see.
It does have some lab stuff for sure. There's definitely some tight combos in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But continue on.
Interesting switch. Alright, let me read another one here, this time from Zen Ryoku. So, he would make his #1 game plus R. GG plus R. Similar idea. There's a ton of stuff to lab, and there's always execution upkeep to be done, and it's just like funny to play. It actually has like good rollback. It can run on anything, so that's his option for one, his tube game. His second game, and I think he's the only one who's going to say this, Ultra Street Fighter 4. I don't know, Zen, if you're going to find anyone to play with you in the library. Ultra Street Fighter 4 is very punishing execution, but he says it's a nice comfort game. A lot to discover, so that's an option. And then 3, kind of an interesting choice here. He said Sam Show 2019. He said that this is a game where he thinks if he labbed it, it would become less interesting. Like, he kind of likes that it's like the hard read generator, and he doesn't want to learn the setups and things like that, and he doesn't want other people to learn the setups. So Sam Show would just be the once a month party game where, someone hard reads with a heavy slash. Interesting choices. Thanks for submitting, Zen. All right. Storm Claymore, you ready?
Hey, yeah. What's up?
What's your games? What are you bringing to Mars?
Well, I'm a kind of a bit of an old head. Okay, not an old head, but more like someone who likes the old games because I grew up with them. So I'm bringing KOF 98, Third Strike, and Tekken 5 DR.
What's your tube game?
So the go-to game is like Third Strike.
That's your tube game?
Yeah, that's the tube game. I don't generally play it the entire. Like it's lappable. Like honestly, when you just boot it up and just learn like pretty much every extensive thing about any character. And also the soundtrack is pretty hype. So
Great soundtrack.
when like if you're just playing and all of a sudden you fall asleep, just know that you're sleeping with like the best soundtrack. So
It's right in your tube. It's like playing in
Yeah.
your tube.
yeah. So the next one is like KOF 98. I've also just played that since I was a kid. It's good to play with friends. I've been forced played with like one of my old friends during college, and he was like, "Hey, come play 98 with me in the arcade cabinet." And I'm like, "I don't want to." He's like, "You're going to." I'm like, "Fine." So he makes me throw in my quarters in, and then he just pulls up the clock, and I'm just like, "You suck. You know that?
He bullied you. So
Why do you
could-
do this to me?"
So this is what you want to do on Mars to other people.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not. Like, there is some very busted things you could do on 98, but I feel that it's fun to have someone playing multiple characters because you don't want to be stuck on like one character and completely just switch off to like another character. It's like, oh, you already went to this character and back, but no, you get to play with like 3 characters, so it's like less switching, more strategizing, but actually having fun with it. So
Yeah, KOF's good for that. You can
So-
like really mix things up just by substituting one character in your 3-man.
the last one is Tekken 5 DR. Now, I actually wanted to switch the two, like the first and the third, because I realized that I'd go a little insane just sitting in like just labbing Tekken 5 because I'm just sitting there just like, you know what, I'm slowly not having fun. But then at the same time it's different because when you're playing it in a live studio audience, it's really hype. Like it's a different environment, especially when like the one time we had that exhibition match back in Evo 2022, and there's a lot of like complex movement and strats that happen in that specific environment. And I feel that this is a once in a time thing where like one of the most complex games in gaming fighting game history is just on the floor and everyone's wilding out.
Tekken 5 especially has a lot of like crazy inputs and stuff like that.
Yes. Something about like up to Tekken 7, everything from Tekken 5 to Tekken 7, it's pretty much the same game but with extra steps. There's like juggle systems and juggle systems and crazy damage. And I feel that just like Tekken 5 itself is a very basic yet quite execution heavy game, which makes it more fulfilling when you engage in that moment. But I can't see myself just going on the tube and just like labbing it the entire time because I just go insane just like because of that said difficulty execution. But yeah.
That makes sense. I think that's a good hype game. We actually had some guys bring a CRT to play Tekken 5 at one of our locals once, which was kind of crazy. But why not Tekken Tag Tournament for the cafeteria game? So
Tekken Tag. I yesterday I went to a pinball museum and had like a ton of arcade games, including Tekken Tag 1. Tekken Tag 1 doesn't become fun because there's a very defined like tier list. Like, it's a very how do you put it this way? Like, the Mishimas in the game are so top tier that you're probably better off not even playing the other characters at all, because they have faster like some characters have faster frame inputs, and also like absurd amount of damage that could pretty much end rounds within like under like 10 seconds. But like Tag 2, there's Tag 2, which is a lot of fun, and you could do crazy things with the characters. It's just that Tekken 5 has a natural feeling where the combos aren't super long, and you are more reliant on what Tekken was optimized to be back then, which is like entirely movements, playing the poking game, playing defensive, and it just feels better.
Makes sense. The feel of the game is like why people have their favorite Guilty Gears and stuff like that. Okay. So those are the 3 for Storm Claymore. So I'll just read.
I was very tempted to just say all Strive because I know a specific someone is watching us. Strive.
Strivety, strive. So we'll have Jub's answer next. He's going to say plus R is number 1 also. We've all heard the plus R people before, but he says it's kind of a Discord game anyway. So might as well just play it by himself. Number 2, he says Soku. What the fuck is that?
That is Hisoten Soku.
Oh god, Hisoten Soku. It's a Toho game.
Is that a fighter?
It's the Toho fighter.
It's a Toho fighter, and you're pretty much bouncing off the walls, and environment seasons affect the game. You're playing with cards. It's a very crazy Kusoge game.
Okay, I just found a bunch of fighter jets, so I'm gonna take your guys' word for it.
I have a few opinions on Hisoten Soku.
Oh yeah?
And it's a very, very, very fun to watch game, but playing it myself it's a little weird. It's a bit of a weird. Saying it's Kuso, I would say that's a bit of exaggeration, and I'd say the other Toho fighters are more Kuso, but Hisoten Soku is a very untraditional fighting game by every standard.
Okay. Alright, so you're pro Soku. You might show up to his library day?
Yeah, I mean I have like 0 experience in that game, but I would play it.
Cool. For 3, he wanted to say plus R again because he wanted to yell at people and scream when he was doing stuff, but since he can't, he has to go with KOF 15, which he says is not particularly high maintenance, and he doesn't think he could live without a KOF. He wants a KOF out there in the world, which I think we can all sympathize with, and 15's a pretty good one. He also wants to yell Iori's vocal lines when he hits with stuff.
Oh god.
So that's a good reason. Retro Rage, are you with us? I see you posted too, but if you're here...
Oh yes, I'm finally have no background noise anymore. Just perfect timing, I'm not gonna lie.
Nice.
So, my tube game would probably be like... I was thinking of putting King of Fighters 13 on there, but I'll just choose the better one. If there was like power issues in our Mars colony and 3D games substantially take more power, I'm not sure, maybe, then I'd have King of Fighters 13, 2D game, less resources being used. Right? I think King of Fighters is a great game to lab things out or just like explore. There's a lot of characters to try out and practice, a lot of combos to learn.
This is a return to the source for you too, right?
Yeah.
Like finally cracked a KOF 13.
That's true. My first fighting game, King of Fighters. Yeah, so I think I'd have there's a lot of time I could put into King of Fighters as like a series, right? So I think it'd be like the perfect tube game where you play like online with people or like just lab stuff out. And then I put Street Fighter 6 for the library game.
That game is pretty weird. Oh my god, no one seems to like this game here.
I think it's a great game, and it's the most complete fighting game ever made. So there's a lot of like party modes, like we could do like avatar character battles, all that nonsense. There's a lot of fun stuff you could do in Street Fighter 6. That's not just like fighting games. It's also like other things, right? You can like play the story mode. You can make your avatars or whatever wacky things you can play. There's like the bullfighting mode, things like that. So I think Street Fighter 6 is like a pretty good game for twice a week in the library or something. It's not too hard to pick up. The fundamentals pretty simple. There's gonna be more characters coming soon, so there's like a good amount of like labbing you could do if you wanted to. And then for my final once a month game, I'd choose, of course, Samurai Showdown 2019.
You and Zen.
It's like anyone could play it. You put a controller, any person from the crowd can play it. And if we're all playing fighting games here in Mars, I'm sure all y'all could pick it up in like 2 seconds, right? So I think it'd be like the best crowd game where people, if I played Strive with you guys in the crowd, I'd just get bodied and I'd lose in like 10 seconds, right?
Don't you want that moment 37 though?
No, I don't. I don't care. Like I just want to play video games. I don't want to sit in a combo and eat mix-up after mix-up for 10 minutes, right? So I'd say I like Samurai Showdown. That'd be my crowd game, my once a month tournament hype. Hard read game. I agree with Zen Ryoku.
That makes a lot of sense. No anime for this guy. If Retro Rage is in charge, all the other Mars colonists are in trouble.
No anime? Hell yeah! I like this future, baby. No anime, no Kusoge. Woo! Balance everywhere.
Terrible.
These strikers are to go.
Saying Street Fighter 6 is the Kusoge.
Oh my god, Street Fighters. Well, I think Street Fighter 6 will be fine. I just haven't been liking it just because like online it's been awful for me. So it's just like you play against a person that runs away and you're like, okay, cool, I'm having zero fun.
Better step over.
I like Street Fighter. Okay, I said some harsh words about Street Fighter 6 on my turn. Well, not harsh, but I said I didn't like it that much. But I do like it. I think Street Fighter 6 is very, very good. I just think the current meta of like drive rush, jab, and like a bunch of like unreactable plus advancing moves and neutral, just skip neutral and all of that. I think it's a little lame and it's a bit toxic of a meta, but I feel like if there's a few patches later, the game health is fixed, I would really like it and it'd probably take over Strive for me as a cafeteria game. But
what would be pretty cool in Street Fighter 6? Like if you parried a button, right? The blue parry. Like remove perfect parry. I hate perfect parry. That's nonsense, right? But so like you parry a normal move. So if you parry a light normal, it does like a counter attack thing that does like a little bit of damage. If you parry a medium normal, it does like another counter attack that does more damage. And if you parry a heavy normal, it gives you like a full combo for free, right? But then if you get grabbed while you're parrying, you lose like 30% of your HP. And then you know what? It takes 3 bars of your drive gauge to parry. But then if you get the
Oh my god.
you get all 3 drive bars back. Oh, so I'm such a genius. They should hire me on Capcom. Holy crap!
that
I'm
sounds
so
like
smart.
Please do not hire this man.
That sounds like multi-blood type Luma on launch.
Oh man. Except it was free to try to go for that reversal.
That's true. It's technically free in Street Fighter.
That's true, you start with the cash. But
Yeah.
it sounds like you only want Taquito to be able to use this Retro Rage. It's only like deep, unexpected reads from downtown.
Oh, if you get grabbed by like a command grab and you're parrying, you should get deleted. So if like Zangief supers your parry,
Okay.
it gets 100 to 0. It like doubles your grab damage. That's what it should do.
Yeah, I think.
Are you a Eve player?
Think about it. Lily becomes more viable with this change, right?
I'm not
You
sure I want to
understand
be
what
in
I'm
that
saying?
timeline.
Isn't he already like pretty viable?
Keith is, but Lily
Yeah.
isn't, which is good.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
I don't know. I just
character, in my
fold people
opinion.
with Marissa, so it's okay.
So
I see. If your parry gets grabbed in Street Fighter 6, I think it should turn into Wild Pro from Xrd, and
where they can combo.
yeah, you should take 50%.
That's
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea. Like, it ground bounces them
it's interesting.
Yeah,
on the parry throw, yeah.
punish
You get a
bro.
combo.
That'd be cool.
I'll read another one from, we have Zero the Hero this time. He said number one game, which I was a little surprised no one mentioned. This is actually a great solo tube game, UMVC3. This is a game that is like super hard just to play at all, and everyone who plays it is some horrible monster. So it's kind of ideal that there's no one to play with. And you just, practice your own team shit. So I think that's a good choice. Number two, he said plus R. He mostly BMs with Justice, so I guess he wants to actually learn some combos or something. That should be fun for Ciro. And then number three, Ciro is part of the USF4 army. He would want to have it on the big screen so he can beat people up with his one frame links and be like, see, did you see that? Did you see? So Street Fighter's in the mix a little bit now, let me say my games real quick. I think number one, I think about like what Waka said with the single player, and that's like fighting games generally don't have good single player, but there's a couple that do, and I think BVCF is one of them. Like just the lab is like a huge single player component, of course, because the combos are so complicated. And it's actually fun to learn stuff with the other combos, but it has some other stuff too. It has like a boss rush type mode stuff and this weird extra like abyss mode thing. So it's actually kind of a cool single player thing. So that would probably be the one for me. For two in the cafeteria, I'd put SF6, which I think we kind of talked about at length already. But I think that's a game that people would get interested in, just seeing it a little bit, and they might want to come train every week. So it might be good for like a small Martian community. And then three, I think like if you want to draw crowds, like I don't think you want anime on there. I think you want Tekken 7 or 8.
Reach! But also Tekken 7.
Yeah.
It's a little.
I think you want the people that look a little more realistic, and like you can kind of learn some stuff, but you can also mash in that game. Like mashing's pretty good beginner for beginners. They instantly can do stuff. You know what I mean? Compared to like even Strive, I think like slash heavy slash special, you gotta know a little bit to get that core circle forward. For real beginners, that is hard. But Tekken, you just kick them, you punch them in the mouth. What's there to know? Punch them in the mouth. So I think that's optimal for the cafeteria game. Yeah. Okay. I think I only have one more to read here. Then we can have like closing comments and book it. So from Lourdes, she says her number one lab game would be Tekken 7. So I guess she wants to work on the fundies, learn that KBD. I probably couldn't learn KBD once a month in the cafeteria either, so I'm just going to stay trash, but such is life. 2, she put GG plus R, and 3, she actually put SF6 as the final game, which is, I think it would also be a good cafeteria game just because it does lend itself to some interesting, like you can see the decisions on the screen. A little easier than in anime often. Anime, they're there, but they're often not very readable.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Or we have Karushi joining us for the last.
Kirsha, you gonna drop some knowledge here?
Strives.
Triple drop.
I mean, I can say a little bit, I guess. I wasn't really planning on commenting because I don't know if I'm the right person for this episode topic. At least at the
Karushi
moment.
says delete all fighting games from everyone's computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Spit your shit, King.
Well, like if I were still playing fighting games at the moment, I would say BBCF for my tube, VF for the weekly.
Virtual
Library
Fighter,
computer.
that's a new one we haven't heard yet.
Yeah. And for the once a month, it would probably be Uni. I was thinking about Bleach Dark Souls for once a month, but honestly, that game is on one of the worst platforms known to man to play a fighting game on. So,
All right, I get it. I'm sorry.
no, it'd just be
Man
such
really
a
wanted a
pain.
DS game in the cafeteria.
Yeah, it'd just be too much of a pain. But it would be ideal otherwise. It's just not right for Mars, you know.
You might be able to smuggle it to Mars, though. If you put the DS in your butt.
I guess
What
play
the-
it in my tube. I mean, I'd rather play BBCF in my tube because I don't have to deal with the pains of the DS. That's pretty much it.
Careful, man. You try smuggling ideas up your butt. The Shueisha police will know. It's like, we got anime on the moon. We can't have that.
Anime has broken the cordon.
Yeah, I mean, I guess once people start figuring out how to port the game to not DS, then we can think about it. I guess I'll since BBCF and Uni kind of already been mentioned, I'll say a little bit about VF and why I put that at the library. VF is like one of those underrated games. I think it's gone completely under the radar because Tekken's super popular in the 3D space. VF just has very good and intuitive base systems that are really easy to pick up for a beginner, in my opinion. And I think what Ultimate Showdown has done to improve the game for new players is to add better visual cues. In Final Showdown, which is the last version on PS3, there's no hit effects for blocking versus like normal hit. So without relying on sound cues, it's impossible to tell whether your attack actually connected or not. And for a fast-paced game that is very back and forth like VF, and it's also close quarters, it's just ridiculous for new players to get used to that. But why, again, I mentioned that it's good for new players. Just intuitively, the systems are great. But why I would actually put it as the middle ground between the tube and the cafeteria is that the single player, not for VF5, but for specifically VF4 Evo, is among the best for its time. And it would at least keep me preoccupied if I were to play it twice a week for potentially a year or two. And it's a deep enough game where I wouldn't run out of things to do. And it's also just a game I haven't explored to my full satisfaction. But otherwise, I think what the others said about TF and Uni are pretty sufficient. So yeah.
What, you think it's better than SC3?
I haven't played SC3, so I can't make that comparison. But VF4 Evo was one of my favorite. How to put it? One of my favorite fighting games to play single player content for. Because if I'm looking to play single player game modes, I probably wouldn't go to fighting games first. Let's be real. But if fighting game is what you're what you're forced to do, then I think VF4 Evo would certainly be one of my options.
Okay, so we're in the last little stretch here. Let me mix the question up on you guys. So, as you know, bureaucracies don't always listen too well. You asked to have fighting games added on the computers, and they said, sure, which Smash do you want?
Oh fuck.
Oh, that's an easy one for me. That's actually an easy one.
So what's the platform fighter that you're going to have for the rest of your life? You have to live off of fighting games through this.
Big brain move, big brain move. It's going to be Project M, which is a mod of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and I can just mod that thing with any fighter I want. There we go. That's my pick.
You're saying Mugen.
Pretty much, yes.
There must be Mario and one of the Mugen reps. Okay, Project M. What about the rest of you? It's over. Sorry, it's over. But you must accept your dark fate.
I generally just say ultimate.
Go with all.
Yeah,
It's got the most
ultimate
fighting game
is-
characters.
It's got a lot of stuff. I sadly to say played it for a couple of years. It's not awful.
ABBN?
I can just play Terry.
There you go.
Hey, you know what? You know what? Fuck you guys. The USSF or the United States Space Federation, we're all playing Nintendo 64. Everyone's a Pikachu main. Fuck
Smash
you.
64.
Yikes.
Fits
That
into
sounds
the human
horrible.
box.
Oh no!
We just do combo contests.
Yeah, no, I just learned that Pikachu is literally the top tier in the game. The only sole top tier.
Soul?
No one's having fun.
Wait, even higher than Kirby?
Yes.
Oh dang!
I haven't heard the right
Okay.
answer yet. The right answer is Brawl.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's the
Oh
funniest, It's
no!
the funniest one. It's also
I
the
know I
funniest
grew
one
up
if you
on
want to
it,
punish
but-
the Smashers for making this happen.
Okay, so does it have to be a Smash game or does it have to
Any
be a platform fighter? Okay. So
Multiverses.
if I can, I haven't played that recently, but that would be a good contender. I actually liked Multiverses on launch a little bit. But if I could bend the rules, I would write like a 5-page essay on why Hiso Tensoku is a platform fighter and we should play that instead. Because I don't want to play a platform fighter, and I'd rather play Hiso Tensoku because I am a crippling Toho addict. If I has to be a platform fighter by definition, I would either bring Ultimate, but with only the Season 1 DLC,
Sounds good.
or Rivals.
Rivals of the Aether,
River.
Golden Ronald McDonald.
Yeah.
Oh god.
I would bring Rivals because
Yo,
I think
I like that pick.
I think Ultimate sucks, and I think that there's a really big workshop on Rivals. So you could have there's a bunch of content with all the workshop.
Basically
characters.
Mugen at this point.
Pretty much
Yeah.
the same answer as why I chose Project M.
And I think the gameplay is healthier than Ultimate.
Okay, that makes sense. For my choice, I pick Strive because you smash the person off the side of the stage and you win. So, feels good.
Oh, it's a platform fighter? Oh, I'll take it.
Where's the platforms? Where's the platforms?
Wall.
Survive is a Smash platform.
Dude, there's no platforms, but it's the game that draw in the most platform
No,
fighters.
it's a platform. It's a platform because when you air dash, it's a platform.
That's true. It appears
You
in
know-
a second.
Karushi mentioned Bleach Dark Souls, but what about Bleach in Jump Force? There we go. The only acceptable anime fighter. I'm sorry,
we'll,
guys.
What about
we'll skew
for
over.
Smash Flash?
They're like, yeah, we'll put a fighting game on. Which anime arena fighter do you want? And you can't do Clash of the Ninja 2.
Kill a Kill If.
Oh, okay. I heard that was good.
Arena Fighter.
Kind of a
I
nice
heard
roster though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's fun. I like it. It's
Arena
also the only one I played.
Makes sense. I'd say Storm 4, just because all the weebs could have fun,
Yes.
Storm 3 has more single player content, or better single player content.
I would bring JoJo All Star Battle.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I forgot about that
Does
one.
that count? Does that count as a?
Yeah,
They don't.
It is.
People on the outside wouldn't know that it's not an arena fighter. It looks like an arena fighter, so they'll probably
Does he
let
know?
it slide.
Like,
Yeah, does he know?
is this game shitty enough? I'm not sure we can include this.
I'm
Okay,
still
then.
not sure if it counts though.
No,
That's
it's
the thing.
certainly shitty.
It's kind of Tekken-y, right? It's not full run.
It's like it's basically a 2D game, but you can sidestep projectiles, and there's no corner. The corner is just a wall.
Yeah, I'm not sure that counts. You're getting Jump Force.
They don't, but the the officials won't know. The officials won't know.
Like, there's
don't
JoJo
know.
characters in Jump Force, probably. We'll make everyone
Oh,
happy.
no. This is on the internet now. They'll know now.
Yikes.
Well, you can't even buy Jump Force, so you're safe.
I already bought it, so I'm not safe.
Oh, no.
Yikes.
Okay.
Or we can do like Pokken.
Oh, Pokken. That's not bad.
Pokken actually counts, I think.
Wait, come on. No one's gonna mention Gundam Extreme Versus the best
Oh.
arena
Yes.
I'll be down for that.
That's a good one. Okay, very last question. They fucked up, and you learn your rocket takes off in a week, and you learn there's no fighting games on Mars. This is your last week. What's the last game you play?
Like last.
Pop in music.
This is the last.
Because I've been
fighting game
playing
you
that
can play.
recently.
Last video game or fighting game?
Fighting game.
Fighting game?
Fighting game. Oh,
There's
gosh.
games on Mars. They have
Strive.
The Last of Us 7 and whatever.
What
But there's
the
no
hell?
Just-
fighting games.
I would just play Strive.
BBCF.
Just go with
Hands
it.
down,
Go with it.
BBCF.
I wouldn't play fighting games because why would I care?
Ew. I'm kneeling.
Good. No fighting games in Mars. That's good. It's a good
I
thing.
just play what
I'll
I
put
always
the
been
Dark
playing.
Souls.
You just try to treat
StarCraft.
it normal.
I mean, yeah.
What
I
else?
probably wouldn't have time to play fighting games anyway. I would be getting my stuff ready and being nervous for the trip to Mars.
That's true. You don't want to feel bad getting beaten up on ladder while getting ready to go to Mars.
They'd be
The
like,
last day-
damn it, I could have won that last game if I did. And just think about it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, the last fighting game memory you get of before you headed to Mars is getting perfected by Happy Chaos,
Oh god.
Brutal.
or getting cornered by Ramlefall. Like that wouldn't be very fun.
Oh, that's just me. Whoops.
I would finally grind through World Tour, because then I'd have like a good time beating up a stupid computer. But like, you know,
World Tour. Or
Yeah.
just
I have some bad news for you about World
how
Tour.
is it hard?
It becomes a big stat check at the end.
Oh shit.
yeah.
Oh man. Well, then I'll be happy to leave fighting games behind, I guess, if that happens to me. All right. Any concluding remarks from you guys? We're off to Mars, so the podcast's gonna have to cut out soon.
Is he gone?
The game called Skullgirls was not
It was not mentioned.
named by any of us, any
That is
7 of
true.
us people. And I want to use that fact to reaffirm how trash that game is, and that everyone who says it's a good game is actually coping.
Wait a minute.
You need to get the
They're
JoJo in
deceiving
here.
themselves.
It was on my list, but there was better games. So
You know, it's a bad game. It's a bad game, and nobody plays that game,
DBFC
and it
also
should go
didn't make it.
disappear.
just play Big Band.
We need to
music.
get swing beats in here.
Wait, that's
That's
a non-sequitur.
What's that rhythm game fighter?
Definitely don't bring that.
No one wanted GBVS or DBFC either.
Like as much as I like GBFS, VS, it's just boring.
Hmm. Yeah, you want to be stuck on Mars with it.
Nah. Like I
It's
like
not
just
good.
sitting down like once a month and just like grinding out. But like but like there's significantly better games.
I just
I'm
want to say
calling.
about those comments. I'm sorry. I want to say those comments about like Skullgirls. I don't think it's a bad game. I just don't like hyper fighters. That's it. I just don't.
And don't
like
worry, I'm just a hater. I just wanted to be. I wanted to put a little hate in this in this podcast.
Wait,
There
okay,
you
Red
go.
Red, I'm gonna call you out here, okay? So never mind the fact that I agree with you, but are we calling Strive a good game because there were 3 people here that would put it on
Hey,
like a
hey,
Yes,
you're on the
democracy.
radar.
Democracy is the true answer, and
I like Strive. It's fun.
according to democracy,
As much as I am a critic on Strive, I personally legitimately like playing that game, so I do like it.
society has fallen.
This
I
is
have
the
more
new world.
hours in Strive than I do have in Skullgirls. So
When Earth is destroyed, there will only have the Martian Strive community. to carry forward humanity's light.
Okay, I'm dead serious. I would play Bleach Dark Souls as my last fighting game. Like,
Oh, okay.
I don't care about fighting games, so.
And you wouldn't play Jump Force? I'm just messing.
Jump Force is cope.
All right, guys. Thanks for hopping on with me.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, fun discussion.
Yep. This has been episode 20. I'll catch you next time at the Ursine.
All right.
Peace.